Hi, I'm Trevor.
Hi, I'm Maureen.
Hi, I'm Hugh.
And hi, I'm Ed. And together, we're Team SGS, Supersonic Game Selector.
With current social distancing orders, people are playing games now more than ever. For our project, we wanted to produce a modern application with a timeless appeal for the gamer with a busy life who doesn't want to waste time choosing what game they want to play at the end of a long, stressful day.
Our cohort started in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, and as such, this project was completed remotely. We had to use a variety of apps to communicate, including Zoom, Discord, and Slack.
Developing a large-scale project is difficult in the best of conditions. Naturally, we had to pivot to prevent confusion and encourage productivity with the Agile Scrum methodology. Given the lack of physical interaction and planning, we had to utilize a Scrum board within GitHub to keep track of our user stories and feature planning, as well as managing our progress. Our Scrum board played a big part in keeping us organized with a variety of tracking columns and cards based on tasks at hand to be completed and worked on. We assembled early in our day as a group to discuss and check in. We split our team into pair programming to increase workflow when necessary after deciding our direction for the day.
Our project required a number of software and technologies in order to see it realized. For our backend, we utilized Microsoft Visual Studio with C# .NET Core to develop a SQL database to store our user information for quick and easy retrieval. We also used models and controllers on handling the data. For our front-end and Visual Studio Code, we used Node.js, Webpack, modern JavaScript, and components within to develop a streamlined single-page application experience. In order to get the data for usage in the majority of our project, we use the Steam API. Visually, we use HTML and CSS.
If you're a busy gamer, you don't want to spend potentially large amounts of time looking for something to play. Whether alone or with friends, our app presents a solution, giving you something to play with minimal clicks.
Every user will start out on the same page. For the first time, you will have to enter your Steam ID, but don't worry. The next time you're using our application, you'll likely be in our recent users section, saving you a step.
Gaming by yourself? No problem. We're all antisocial at some point. After logging in and clicking solo, you can retrieve your Steam library, viewing all of your games. If you want to speed up the process and have a game pick for you, you can click the shuffle button to get a suggestion. Don't like it? Shuffle again. You'll also have the stats on how much you've played that game.
Social Butterfly? We've got you. After clicking Social, you can retrieve your Steam friends list. There, you can click any of your listed friends and see their game library. We also have a compare feature to show you your games in common with your selected friend. Want to go a step further? Click on the Give Us a Random Game button to shuffle those games you both own. Here you'll see the random game selected and its playtime stats for you and your friend. Want a flawless victory? Reshuffle until your playtime is higher than theirs. But don't worry, we'll keep your secret.
Early on or during development and throughout, reusable code was a big part.
By creating functions that take generic parameters, they allowed us to deploy them later in our code to save time and keep our overall line count as low as possible. Our project heavily relied on the Steam API, which supplied us with ample user information. It allowed us to parse through what may be of interest to display to the end user.
We wanted to take this portion of the presentation to address how we all grew as developers throughout this project. How I grew as a developer, I learned that in a team environment, everyone approaches a project and their code differently. I had the opportunity to learn their own approach, adding it to my own to increase adaptation. Key point being, when you're a developer, you absolutely have to search out every option to avoid and overcome blockers.
Throughout the project, I struggled with staying motivated when we were faced with a big, intimidating challenge. I learned that splitting larger tasks up into smaller ones is a good way to avoid becoming discouraged, and completing those smaller tasks is a good way to boost motivation. Small victories are still victories.
For this assignment, my biggest challenge was getting on board with the central thesis of our application. In order to grow as a developer of this particular project, I was challenged to define how this app could apply to me so that I could be an asset for my team.
I often struggled with project organization and deciding on a logical order of tasks for the project. Working in the group helped break me of a couple bad habits and organize my workflow into a manageable groove. Knowing my team was relying on me also helped encourage me to push past blockers that popped up in the course of development. Thank you for watching our presentation, and we look forward to answering all your questions.